You got to know your role. And knowing your role is knowing the strength that you have and like how you bring that to whatever team you're on. So that's knowing your 1 and your 1A. So for like homework, you got to understand what's your 1 and what's your 1A and be real honest with yourself. The second thing is KYP. You got to know your personnel. Know who to get, know who to get the ball to, when to get them the ball, and where to get them the ball. And then the third thing is just what's your personal value level, right? Like what value do you bring to each situation that you're in? Now, because you can talk the basketball language and you understand things, again, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you do that, now it makes basketball so much easier. Because where everybody else trying to get in where they fit in, y'all are creating your own lane.
Persistence, consistency, and finishing what you started. Time. How much time are you putting into your craft? I believe you don't lose, you learn. So you just ran out of time. Does that make sense? Like that contest, y'all just ran out of time. But how much time do you think you have before it's over? Right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. Don't matter if you're a damn All-American. Like, you got a job to do, so trust. Y'all not mentally tough because y'all don't trust not only each other, but you don't trust yourself. And you don't trust yourself because how much time you putting in. The ones that put the time in, they trust one another. They believe in themselves. So if y'all believe that y'all can do it, y'all should be going harder. Y'all should be holding one another accountable. Whatever you can do to help this team, that's what y'all need to happen. Everybody can't score. Everybody ain't fast. What everybody can do, what everybody that ever plays basketball should be able to do if they play basketball, they should be able to play defense and play hard. Them the only two things you can control.
And show hands. Who want to play basketball? Honestly, who want to play basketball? All right, who has to play basketball? We just cracked the code. And dudes that y'all play, they got to get their mom out the hood. The dudes that y'all playing, they living in a trap. The dudes that y'all playing ain't getting no sleep. So I got to get any advantage that I can. So what choices are y'all making? That's the point I'm getting to. Are you making the choice to play defense? Are you making the choice to pass the ball? Hell, are you making the choice to come to practice? And I commend y'all because y'all here in the evening. But guess what? Circle gets smaller. Try out, that circle was big, wasn't it? Circle gets smaller, dog. Everybody don't make it.
And so every parent wants their kid to play AAU, or not AAU, but Division I basketball. But with Division I basketball, it's a high level of discipline, it's a high level of accountability, and it's a whole great level of self-respect. Because again, if your name is under that tick on ESPN, not only you're embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing your parents, you're embarrassing the coach, and now the coach gonna get fired. He may not get another job, can't take care of his family, but another coach that's just worried about winning basketball games might come get you. But you're going to go through that same thing again. So what I talk to parents and players about is developing here mentally. Because the game is really more about your mental capacity than your physical, development. You can jump high, but can you read a screen that's coming? Can you run a play?
Man, no doubt. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Good afternoon. How you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey. I want to welcome you to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. And so today we got a special guest with us today. We got IG. We got Instagram with us today. What up, IG? And so as usual, we got Facebook. We got YouTube.
and the rest of the world and podcast land watching today. But real quick, today I want to talk about the dark side of basketball. All right. The dark side of basketball. Everybody wants exposure. Everybody wants exposure. Everybody wants the good things, the perks that comes along with basketball. However, there is also a dark, yep, you see my Jordan, old school Jordan hoodie. But the dark side of basketball that most people don't want to talk about, that's what a lot of parents and athletes wind up facing. And they wind up facing it when it's too late. And what I mean by when it's too late, to where they are in it and they aren't able to go around it or make the adjustment before they get to it. And so it's been a couple things that's happened in sports this week, right? It's December. I'm going to date this particular show, right? It's December the 20th, 5 days before Christmas, 2022. A couple things happened in the sports realm. Jackson State, they lost the national championship when one of the receivers dropped the basketball. They dropped the basketball, or they dropped the football. I'm always talking about basketball. They dropped the football. Some people are saying that the person batted the ball down, caught it and batted it down like it's some conspiracy. But now this individual and his parents have been getting threatening phone calls, social media messages, text messages for him and his parents. It's only a game. And the fans, right, which fanatic comes from fan, but it shouldn't get to the point to where you're upset at the coach so much, or you're supporting the coach so much, or supporting somebody else, to where the conspiracy is that the individual dropped the football on purpose for whatever reason, right? But this individual is now dealing with stress, dealing with anxiety. His family is living in fear. Keep in mind, he's a white individual that goes to an HBCU. So he's getting all type of backlash for dropping the football. One play doesn't lose the game for anyone. But our athletes out here are dealing with harsh words from fans, from opposing players, and from people that have nothing better to do than to just talk mess or criticize. And that's one dark side of basketball that people don't talk about. What athletes are hearing, what they're digesting, what they're intaking into their mind and their body. Second thing that's happened this week. Coach Mo Williams, that used to play the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James, right? He's at Jackson State also. Jackson State's been in the news all week. He's pleading. Here's a coach, a Division I basketball coach is pleading for fans to come to the games. Well, the team is 1-8 so far. I believe 1-9 now. But that particular school, based off of financials and enrollment, they have to play what's called guarantee games. They have to play what's called money games. Here's how this works. I say, okay, I'm at Duke University. You ever see your favorite school? They're playing a team you never heard of. Well, they're playing them. They're paying them to come play them. They'll say, hey, we're going to give you X amount of dollars, right? My first game, Indian Hills, right? They were ranked number 1 in the country. They had a game playing the number 2 team in the country on a Saturday. They wanted to play us the day before as a warm-up. And this is what the coach said. Coach, we want to play y'all as a warm-up. Number 1 team in the country. We're playing the number 2 team in the country on this Saturday. We have an opening this Friday. Instead of scrimmaging their own team, we want to play you. So they paid us $3,500 to go to Iowa, got us a coach bus, and they beat us by about 50. Now, mind you, this was my first head college coaching basketball game, coaching a team that hadn't had a program in 19 years. Well, we had a pretty good season that year, but we got beat up on. And my point of saying this is that we took that game because we needed some money to help our programs, to get different things, sweatsuits, different gear. There are athletes out here that are going to schools. When I talk about the right fit, but they have no idea. They're going to schools, and the school schedule is heavy guaranteed games. I'm in Chicago. School like Chicago State, their basketball team funds the athletic program. So their basketball team, they have to play about the first 2 months of the season on the road, playing high major universities. So guess what? It still goes back to the psyche, the anxiety, the mentality of your athlete. Because after 7, 10, 13 games of getting beat up, losing by 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you lose the love of the game. Then your athlete gets, their confidence goes down. They start feeling a certain way. But this particular school is funding the entire athletic program. So they need to play those games to get that money to fund the athletic program. Well, how exciting do you think that's going to be for your athlete? Probably not exciting at all. That's why when we say do your research, right? Your athlete needs to become the right recruit, find the right program, the right fit. So Jackson State is begging people to come to the basketball games. But people don't want to see what they call bad basketball or their team lose. It's not exciting for whatever reason, but they don't understand how the hierarchy is, that they have to play those games. Otherwise, they won't even have money to keep the program running. And more importantly, probably won't have enough games to pay that coach to coach that team. But then the biggest thing, the dark side of basketball that people don't talk about. So Dallas Mavericks guard Tyrell Terry, he retired this week. And he retired this week for the same reasons I'm pointing out to you today. Anxiety and stress and panic attacks. He said that he did not love the game of basketball anymore because of what the game was doing to him inside. This is the dark side of basketball nobody wants to talk about. Yeah, it's all glitz and glamour if you see, different teams and different schools. Go out, I'm still on lunch. Different teams and different schools, and different coaches, and the lights are flashing and it looks good. This is what you want your athlete to be a part of. But what happens when that coach leaves? What happens when that coach gets fired or that coach just finds another job, right? Now your kid, your son or daughter is in the transfer portal, or they're looking for schools. What happens when the coach benches the player? What happens when the athlete is in the game and they make a game winning or game losing play like the young man from Jackson State? And all of this is happening before they get in the vehicle with you. Because we know once they get in the vehicle with you, the long ride home is going to further tear them apart. I used to be that coach. We lose, ain't nobody eating today, depending on how the performance was, how they competed. But all of those things play into the psyche and the development of our young people. And if we don't understand the dark side of basketball, there's no way we can appreciate the bright lights, the glamour and glitz of basketball or sports in general. But no one's talking about this. Last year, this time, I did a show on the number of women athletes that had committed suicide in a 60-day time span. No one's talking about the mental side of sports, the mental side of basketball. And I do my best to get on here continually, going on 6 years now, continually giving information that's going to help athletes and parents, not only with a growth mindset, right? The right IQ, the right perspective, the right awareness, but that same IQ, identity, awareness will then help with the physical aspect. But there are some parents that will rather just pay December 20th, 2022. There are parents right now that are searching for new Jordans. And hey, I love Michael Jordan. Got him on 9. For those people that know me, I went to Michael Jordan camp 2 years when I was in school, right? Michael Jordan got mad at me at his camp because they called me Magic Johnson at his camp. The head coach of South Suburban, the national champion, junior college national champion, Division II, was my coach at Jordan camp, and he called me Magic. And Mike got mad about it. Michael Jordan, I love Michael Jordan. But there are some parents right now that are looking for Jordan for their athlete, and they aren't even in tune with their athlete's psyche and how they're performing or their lack of performance on the court. There are parents that are looking into video games, but they aren't looking to invest in something, a program that's going to help their athlete develop mentally to then enhance their game physically. But this is the dark side of basketball. So what happens if your athlete gets that Division I scholarship, but they're playing at a school that has 15 guaranteed games, and they go 0-15 their first 15 games, right? How do you think they're going to respond? They're probably going to want to leave that school if they want to continue to play basketball. Then what about the athletes that do something that doesn't help the team? Or they're human, so they make a mistake in sport, and everybody jumps on them. How do you think that makes them feel? But furthermore, how do they come back from it? This is what we teach our athletes of Hoops Mastery, how to recover, how to combat and come back, how to combat it, guards, how to combat it, and how to come back from it. So I wanted to get on here and talk about this, the dark side of basketball. No one really talks about. But more importantly, to get you to understand that you need to get your athlete the assistance that they need to help them with their awareness, their IQ, their confidence. That all starts in the mind. And once they improve that, then their game will improve. A lot of people not talking about it. Brian Buchanan Sr. says, invest in your results, dream it, believe it, achieve it. Live today for the life you desire tomorrow. Your best ability is what is transpiring from your shoulders up. Bingo, B. Have a happy holiday season, but remember, not all will be sitting around. Take the opportunity to train your game and your brain. Appreciate you, B. Appreciate you, B. All right, so that's it. Y'all know me. That's the bell. James Zetta, you already know, sis, we talking about it. You and I are talking about this thing continually as my kids come in. Now, you see, he tried to come in like I'm on my lunch break. He tried to come in about 7 minutes early. Let me get my lunch break because I'm giving back on my lunch break, but let me get my lunch break. IG, I see you. Shake, I see you. What up, sis? I see you. A great is a better mentor. Yep. Know your personnel. Absolutely. All right. So that's it. If y'all haven't taken advantage of one, our holiday special, but more importantly, our free case study video, go check that out at BeTheRightRecruit.com. Go check that out where we're going to give you all the inside information that coaches don't share with parents about the recruitment process and what your athlete needs to then go from where they are to where they want to be. And in about 12 minutes, I give you the back roads, the insight as to how college coaches are looking at players, what they're looking for, and how it can best serve your athlete. And if you want for me and my team to be able to help you and your athlete out so that you are aware of the dark side of basketball, then reach out to me. I holla. Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program. with the spirit of Bob Hambry.
This is Bless the Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Bless the Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Bless the Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Bless the Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Bless the Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Bless the Ball. Come join our team. It's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Bless the Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Bless the Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Bless the Ball. Come join our team. It's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it. And my name is Strategic.